Martin, welcome to episode 48 of Illuminating Rounds, hot on the heels from episode 47. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I've got to say, the number we've done is catching up with my age. We'll be doing my age soon. We'll have to celebrate when we get to 54.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
100 and, what did you say? It was
54, 1854.
Yes. Well, listen, it hasn't deterred your playing ability after we saw from last weekend. You're still basking in the victory of that.
Yes, I've forgotten all about that. No.
Well, you didn't upgrade your internet connection. We've got you as a bit grainy today, but
yeah, I don't understand that. I think the internet connection should be all right. I don't know what's happening today.
Oh well, okay, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, they know what you look like. It's some might say it's an improvement. It looks like you're a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. It looks like a
a lot of people say I'm a bit of a puzzle. Yeah,
an enigma wrapped in a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, look at you with a better word, enigma. I'm the English teacher at the moment. Anyway.
Not for long. Yeah, you're winding down, aren't you? You've got a year.
I'm winding down. Yeah,
a year to go. It's excellent. Yeah. And this is interesting because someone was saying the other day about the idea that you can't get too excited about football because people never complete football in terms of, like Leicester. When Leicester won the Premier League, Leicester, a small team in England that won the Premier League a few years ago, they didn't pack up and go, right, well, we're done now. Let's go take on baseball now. It's just, you got to crack on again next go. And it's a little bit like that with ASL, isn't it? You never complete ASL.
Yeah.
What would be the point where you would say, right, I'm done now? Would there ever be that point? And we talked a little bit about this as well in terms of when we would stop ever playing. But
yeah, it's not in the nature of it, is because if you're the Beatles or something like that, you want to stop at a high, don't you? Rather than kind of like be old men and everyone's laughing at you or whatever. Actually, a friend of mine used to play five-a-side football, and he was the captain of the team. He was quite good in his day, and he said, Martin, I'm starting to notice people in the audience giggling a little bit. He thought it was time to sort of hand his boots in and give up. And ASL's not like that, is it? I suppose the thing is, actually, we did mention this, didn't we? Because one day there's going to come a time where we can't read the counters, we can't remember the rules, we don't know whose turn it is.
It's getting closer. if that's the point.
But life's like that, isn't it? You don't, you have your greatest achievements. Life doesn't just end, does it? You go on to be humiliated again and downtrodden and made to look the fool. That's the nature of it. That's ASL.
I am definitely going through a phase in ASL right now where I feel like I can't buy a win, and I feel like, and like how you try a little bit harder and then you lose again, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do.
The worst thing is that it becomes an issue, isn't it? Yeah. Because actually, I mean, I'm not even aware of it. I mean, I know that I won 3 games at the weekend, but generally speaking, we're fairly evenly matched statistically, I think, in the past, haven't we? I don't know whether that's changed or not. I don't know. I don't know if this is all in your mind, really. It's just a little bit of a dry patch or whatever.
Yeah.
What is that a reference to? I can't find it. God, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. But you're all right.
What about, like, for example, if you won ASLOC and all the UK tournaments and everything like that, and you won every tournament you could? Yeah, would you be like, I'm done now?
No, I just don't think it works. Like, it's just not a very good comparison. I'm Leicester City.
Yeah, you're gonna go again.
Leicester City. I'm a little bit naff. If I win ASLOC, I'd be like unbearable. It wouldn't happen. But I would be unbearable. But I'd be back to show them next year I could do it again, and that's when my downfall would come.
The thing is, in ASL, as I said in one of the scenarios that you won last week, you have a puncher's chance. If you roll great, I'm not suggesting for a second, by the way, any of these victories you did were with the dice.
No,
but if you turn, I've done that before. If you turn up to ASLOC and rolled great dice all weekend, apart from being asked to change dice, and you're rolling great dice, and everything comes off. And that, the difference between you and a Steve Plaver or a Toby Pilling, I don't know, maybe 30%, 40%. I don't know what if you could put it in numerical terms or whatever, but you're not in a different class of players where you couldn't compete. You can compete. You can give them a game.
You can compete. Yeah.
You can break Toby's squad.
I think the difference does represent them winning most games,
Yes.
doesn't it? The vast majority of games. But yeah, you could compete and you could steal a victory. You could have a little bit of luck, and they can make a mistake. And
I would say, like you and I against Steve and Toby, we are 10 to 1 shots to win any game that we're going to play against them. But it's not like impossible. I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's not impossible. It will certainly feel impossible, and I think maybe it's even more than 10 to 1. I don't know. Maybe it's you'd win 1 in 20 games against them. And the smaller the game, the better. And you would obviously pick games that would suit your strengths, and this kind of stuff. But yeah, so we're assuming you win all the games. You're going to come back again next year, defend the title. Nothing's changing for you.
I have literally no self-knowledge. I would come back thinking, I'll show him again. I'm bloody a hero now. Do you know what I mean? I'd come back and it would be
Would you have the belt? Would you have an ASL belt on? And there were lights coming on.
Yeah.
You would do the ring walk.
A big T-shirt with kind of like clever, you loser. I'm back to thrash you again. It'd be embarrassing, but
brilliant. Yeah, I'd pay good money.
Do you think you would? You'd give it all up? You win as
luck? No, I wouldn't give it up. But I might not play. I might be like one of those boxers that doesn't defend the title but holds on to it as long as they can before they get told fight or lose it. And I'll be like, well, I just hang on to it.
That would be quite something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I play a lot of online chess these days, and I've got a bad habit of not wanting to finish on a defeat. Sometimes I go to bed very late because and the tireder you get, the worse you play,
the harder it gets.
And
the thing is, you're playing against people all around the world, so actually they're just fresh, aren't they?
That's what I tell myself.
1 in the morning.
I absolutely tell myself they're at the peak of their profession, and there's me, 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 defeats later. Anyway, right, good stuff. So today, what are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about the semi-finals.
Quarterfinals.
Is it semi-final? It's the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals.
Okay. Oh yes, the semi-finals are coming up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So quarterfinals in the tournament. This is to win a hand-painted board that we've got. One of the very rare, nice centerpiece for any gaming room, I'd like to think. I've got mine framed. So. I don't know if you've framed yours yet, but
I've got mine gathering dust in the corner of the room, leaning against the wall. But it will get framed. Yeah, it will get framed.
That's the plan.
I haven't had it long, to be fair.
You haven't. No. Yeah, maybe you can get it out at some point, and we'll have a look and
absolutely.
Just to prove to people that I did hand it over to you. So we're going to look at it's Urdaneta Ambush. Is it? Did I pronounce that right? Urdaneta. It's from the full rulebook pack, the March Madness 2020 pack. We've got 4 games, and we're going to look at yours first. Then we're going to look at Jason Nichols against Dave Garvin. We're going to look at Dave Morrisky against Tom Rapetti. We'll look at Morris Legg against Richard Webb as well. So those 4 games. Did you enjoy the scenario, Martin?
I did enjoy the scenario. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, let's flick over to it right now and see what's going on. So yes, talk us through it, Martin. Talk us through.
Okay, so the Americans are coming on from the bottom of the screen there, and they have to get 16 victory points off the topmost edge of this board. In between are the Japanese, and they have included in their order of battle 3 hip tanks. In fact, I think they're even dug-in tanks.
That's right. Yep. So, but they can reverse out, can't they?
They can reverse out, yeah, absolutely. So that's interesting, having the tanks hit. They haven't got amazing guns, but I think the guns are good enough,
right,
to take out these American tanks. And basically, the tanks move. They have to move at least 6 hexes per turn. So it's impossible to have the infantry always going ahead and scouting out, sort of thing. I think that's the thing, is you've got to the infantry sort of, running to sort of keep up, really. Obviously, you can carry some of the infantry. I've mostly used the infantry to try and scout ahead, at least for the beginning of turn 1.
Right. And this has got a feel of Barkman's Corner to it, hasn't it? There's like the marching into the doom of the ambush, as it were.
Do our viewers know about that?
They know about that.
They know
They know about
that. Everybody knows about that.
That's right.
So most watched ASL video on YouTube, isn't it?
That and your trouser video. So the Japanese have 5 4.47s. They've got 3 mortars. They've got a medium machine gun. They've got some Panjis as well. Don't often come up against Panjis.
No.
And they've got these 3 Type 97B Chihars.
Yeah.
Americans 4 6.67s, 5 6.66s, and 3 M4A3s. A couple of bazookas as well. So that's that. 5.5 turns. Take it away, Martin. You are the Americans here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I go a little bit wide on both flanks there, trying to scout out, find out where things are, but also thinking I can converge in on the road later on. Okay. Right. So is that starting to do anything though? Okay. I've got to click on that once here, haven't I? Okay, should work now. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I'm running up there. He goes for a little shot, doesn't get one. Then we got the vehicles moving up the road. I think we dropped a half squad off. I'm kind of expecting things to be in that wood on the right-hand side, perhaps. I'm going to get some guys up there.
So was that a passenger rider thingy, or was that
a half squad? Was the forward half squad was, yes, that's right. And I've got a big stack here, and I think they can get a long way on the right hand side and attack those defenders from the back. I think that's sneaky. That's a good move on my part.
Right, on the left hand side.
Left hand side. I beg your pardon. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So he manages to strip a bit of concealment, but not much else at this point. A few shots. And I take a few advancing fast shots, and then it's advances.
Right.
And there's the Hanji.
Oh, okay. Now, did you do this? Did you move them all in one?
I moved them all in one. Yeah. Okay. And there's the hip guys next to it. Okay. So I think that side is completely undefended. I think I'm charging up there. It's going to do loads of damage. No, there's loads of damage to be done. But
hang on. Stop. You got to talk to me about Panjis now. What happens with the Panjis? So you get, is it a morale check there?
A morale check, yeah, exactly that. Now I think I get away with it relatively lightly.
Okay.
But nonetheless, you're also, that's right. No, hey, they all broke. Sorry, didn't get away with it lightly at all. Oh, okay. I just hadn't got that far right. That's right. They've all broken. Right. They've all broken.
You got it lightly in that your leader didn't break.
My leader didn't break, which was fantastic. I was pleased about that. So I thought, it's not going my way. It's not going the way I wanted. Right. And of course, then Tuomo very sneakily goes onto the attack.
Yep.
I've got some nice little advances on the our right hand side. I feel like it's going well there. But the Americans are in full retreat, and he's in full attack mode. I mean, look, we've got close combat. He's wiping everything out. And then I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm just going to go for it. Let's just move these tanks forward.
Yeah.
He's got half his force hanging around a bloody Panji, and then I found another Panji, but I managed to escape that one. I actually think I'm doing okay till I meet Panjis. Bloody things. Okay, these guys, look, they're flying forward. Look at that, flying forward. Yep. We're keeping the force together.
Yeah.
They're going to do some. That's the plan. Going to do a little bit of harm. He carries on persecuting the guys on the left. Carry on routing away. I think he might have a bit of a problem with the log file there. Then I'm breaking him in the foxholes. Right. Look, he's running away. I'm thinking, I'm doing all right now.
Yeah,
doing all right now. Okay, it could be much worse.
Yeah.
He starts bringing the dudes back. It's like sort of 2 squads that were off to persecute one broken leader.
Right.
So he's getting himself in position to sort of stop the breakout, and then the tanks. And of course, because I'm pushing it a little bit, of course, the tank's behind me, isn't it? Okay. So I think from the front, I'm like reasonable chance of surviving this.
Yeah.
But as you can see, I didn't. Yeah. Because it was from the back. Okay. So, okay, we go. It's no problem. We'll take their rubbish tanks out. They're rubbish tanks.
Yeah.
And he takes a shot from that one. Doesn't do any harm. I haven't even managed to take the concealment off him at the moment, which is like a little bit frustrating. But I have smashed that group on the left-hand side to pieces,
right.
smashed it to pieces. So I don't know, this is still winnable.
Yep.
And then he gets a kill at the front of my tank with the other one that was hidden. The and now it's looking grim. Now it's looking grim. I think it's quite impossible. So anyway, we get into.
How many points do you get for getting your sniper counter off the board? Because he looks like he might be the best.
That's a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Get the sniper off.
And my final tank appears to have disappeared. Where's that?
You got one
it's there, isn't it? It's here, Y9, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting close combat. Get close combat that kills everything in Y5.
Right.
Yeah, he's breaking stuff now. Come on, what's happening to this last vehicle? So he's trying to destroy the Japanese tanks. I think he's just revealed the last tank.
Right.
And yeah, it's getting more and more unpleasant.
Tough, isn't it? It's looking tough.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to make a run for it in a minute. I'm not quite sure why I haven't given up at this point.
I'm enjoying the comedy value of seeing. This is payback for the last weekend.
And look what's just happened. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See that? Sneaky guy. Okay, anyway, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Guy ends up failing, but he's got all the tanks lined up waiting for me to make my run. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's coming. The run is coming. Have I even got 16 points left?
What was that?
I think we're doing an overrun there.
7, 8,
and
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think you had 15 at that point.
Yeah.
Or maybe
so more, blazing wreck. So there we go. So yeah, it was. Do you know what was genius? And Thomas sort of said it himself. He didn't say genius. So that was my word. What he said was he deliberately set the powerful things up at the back.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right thing, because if they were set up forward, I was expecting them. I was looking for them. I had plans of what I was going to do with them. Whereas as I'm sort of like fighting my way out of sort of the first line, all of a sudden, I start getting hit by tanks and stuff like that. So it was the right move. And I think Tom Rapetti was watching this, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was commentating via email to me, telling me that you were going to win, then Tuomo was going to win, then you were going to win, and Tuomo was going to win.
I think the reason I might have looked a bit like I was going to win is because of that, because the strongest units were, way back.
Yeah.
Covering the so it was very good game, very enjoyable.
All right. Okay. Then, well,
great opponent.
Let's see how Tom gets on. Yeah, let's see how Tom gets on in his game. Okay, so here we go. This is Dave against Tom. So Dave being the Americans. So anything you notice here? Fairly similar, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not hugely dissimilar, is it? Yeah. It's interesting having units as extreme over to the right as we have here with the Americans.
Right.
Certainly the Japanese look very similar. Anyway, game's off.
Off we go. So nice little drop of smoke to start with. That's interesting because they've got the Japanese straight down that road. So it's quite a tricky. There's fire lane straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, and double one for Tom.
He's
gonna starts as he means to go on there with the Japanese.
Yeah. That's a very tricky thing for the Japanese to do, isn't it, really?
So Japanese are breaking, I guess, the riders there.
Yeah.
Now, I know someone that once drove tanks up and down a fire lane to break the machine gun.
Yeah, I remember that.
Seems like a useful tactic at this point.
Yeah, broke it. Yeah, you have to
be. You've got to go forward.
Haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be crew exposed, and you've got to, on this scenario, you've got to keep going forward. So it's a little bit more tricky. Yeah. But I would be tempted. I mean, is it a B11?
Medium.
Yeah. Oh, so the gun's already broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's
anyway.
That's the guys there on that tank. broken.
Yeah, that was a very sort of sneaky Tom kind of defensive opening there, I think.
Yeah. He hasn't found any panges yet, like you.
No, no. Yeah, I was doing better on the finding panges front.
Were
Yeah.
you going to capture them and walk off with them? Are they worth double points as
You
well?
know, why? Do you know, I was just saying to Tom, I don't know why I didn't move in one at a time. It would have been no cost to going in one
Right.
at a time.
Oh, another double one here.
Yeah.
Clears off that squad.
It's really interesting. It's like watching sort of like, when you've shaken the bottle, it's watching the pop coming up through the bottle top, isn't it? The top of the bottle.
Okay. Oh, I see what you mean, like the
Seeing
Americans streaming through, yeah.
The green streaming through, some sort of a lime fizzy cordial-y kind of
You got the
drink.
cork. Here they come through the top of the cork. Oh, there's some panges there.
Oh, just put him in the road. That's too sneaky. Too sneaky. Now you can't get paths through, like trail breaks through panges, can you?
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like he got any.
But the tank was destroyed there.
Yeah,
squad.
I'm not 100% sure by what.
I think it's the squad, presumably by
just its reaction fire.
Fighting, yeah, like a reaction fire.
So the Japanese have got all the tools for killing tanks in this.
Yes,
and actually a similar game in a way. I mean, we haven't seen one of Tomo's tanks yet.
That's right. Right.
And David's already down one tank. Yeah.
More panges.
Yeah.
He's got away with it though. He's off and away.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's such a dilemma, heading for the exit or helping everybody else, isn't it? Yeah. He's got 5 points there.
And
6 points there.
3 tanks to face up here as well.
I suppose if they get far ahead they can potentially scout for the tanks.
So there's a melody there that ends up going, I think, probably Japanese favour there, really.
Yeah.
It's not unsurprising.
Yeah.
Some smoke comes. Not sure where that smoke came from.
No.
Bazooka guy's doing well.
Yeah, broke another machine gun, another Japanese machine gun.
See, this is where it's useful now, where you've got the squads can start to search. Yeah, there's some searching going on there.
Yeah. Oh. And they're not finding anything, which is quite remarkable.
Tank hunter hero there jumps out.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, but it's hard work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Fighting your way through this kind of, where it's an effective. Yeah.
One hex away from being able to find that tank.
It's the thing, you always become like sort of, you're kind of like pushing it. Everything's difficult, and that's when the tank turns up in the one place you don't want it.
Now that's an interesting position there for the tank, because you're only going to get front-on shots there for that tank. Right at the back.
Yeah.
But let's see. Americans pushing through.
That infantry's coming through, isn't it?
Yeah.
That firepower, if you can make that tell. But I say that, they're all half squads now, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, comes the other tank.
Yeah. So it's right over there.
Yeah. I guess that's quite good to protect that corner.
Yeah.
Just again, the downside is you're only going to get front shots on them, but.
But yeah, no, he's struggling because he's lost that third tank, hasn't he?
Right. Yeah.
It's all about infantry now.
2 turns to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You need a lot of infantry off, don't you? Really. But...
Yeah. And it gets really hard with this kind of scenario when you can't afford to do anything except run and take the shots.
Yeah, and you don't often take Japanese prisoners, so that's the that's the problem there with like the exit stuff. It looks pretty forlorn for the Americans here, doesn't it?
Yeah. But at least they're going to hopefully get the enjoyment of taking out some tanks. There's still another tank in there.
They took one off, but
yeah,
and then the the Americans resign there.
Yeah.
So,
Brilliant.
I mean, second game, no points off for the Americans.
No, in 2 games. Yeah.
So, okay, all right. So next up, we're going to take a look at Morris versus Richard's game. So, 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right. So, this one's a pretty one. We always like the vassal template style.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. This is
most impressive.
Yeah, this does look good, guys. We give style points for this one.
Absolutely. And Morris is the Americans, and he's going for the needle.
Yes.
The needle thin. Penetration model of attack here.
Nice. And Richard
is very interesting to see if he has more success than me.
Yeah.
And
Richard's set up very far back, isn't he? He's right at the back there. There's very little up front.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be different.
Okay. All right. So all compliments aside from the very nice thingy, very nice ASLplayers.net. Maybe these.
It means nothing. It means nothing, does it, though?
Do you know what though? But it does give you a little bit of style points, and it does kind of make a statement, doesn't it? It's like, I know what I'm doing. Like when you play someone who hasn't got any counters, borrows your dice, isn't quite sure what, they've got maybe, I don't know, half a rule book in the hand. You're thinking this, I can beat this guy. When someone turns up to a vassal game with a layout like this, you're going to be worried. There's been some
You're in trouble, aren't you? Yeah. Because they've got spare energy to put into this, haven't they? Beyond actually just simply working out how panges work. Which is, me and you are kind of, do you know what? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. This guy's worked out panges and he's worked out vassal.
Now,
and he's planning to win.
Yeah, exactly. First thing I'm going to say is Morris doesn't care about concealment counters. Doesn't care about them.
No.
Doesn't need concealment counters.
No, is that just sloppy play, or is that ultra confidence?
It's ultra confidence, and he also knows that he gets 0 points for getting concealment counters off the board. So they're just going to get in his way. Is what I'm going to say.
So if you were Richard, would you be anxious? I mean, I've never played Richard. I'm sure he's a very good player, but are you anxious now? This is a guy who knows what he's doing. Or would you think this guy doesn't even know you can come on concealed?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be a bit more disappointed that I haven't got anything to shoot at him for the whole first turn.
Well, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
But you may be falling directly into his trap here. I mean, that's the thing. But that's a pretty good first turn. You're happy with that first turn.
Yeah.
Oh, here they come.
And actually, he's getting the concealment now. Yeah.
It's.
Do you know what? All of that forces together. The Japanese look kind of spread out.
They look scared, Martin. It's the look at them. All right. Okay. So
the Japanese turn. Obviously, not much for them to do. They can get a striped squad.
Yep. Okay.
They're flying forward.
Look at this. Yeah, it's looking good for the Americans.
Very good. Yeah.
This feels like the playtesters version of the Americans. Yeah. And they're thinking, well, maybe we've got to give the Japanese a bit more help. Because it looks like a walk in the park at the moment for them, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got some mortars coming up here.
Yeah.
Tank Hunter Heroes coming in. He dies there. Gets. Yeah.
So they've not lost a tank yet.
Yep. No tanks revealed. No panges found. The Japanese then jumping in now. This is where.
Yeah.
But the Japanese going into close combat with the concealed.
They have the Yeah, that's right. They got the disadvantage. Well, it looks like he won the ambush and escaped. They got the disadvantage of advancing into the. That's a good play there, encircling those Japanese.
At the cost of 2 prep fires there.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. And they're still there. He's got a half squad, hasn't he? Yeah. He's not quite destroyed them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he might go for the close combat. Who knows?
Yep. So it looks like the tank's off looking for the other tanks. Oh, he's found one.
Yes, and there's one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I must say I didn't find it difficult to find them.
That was like a magnet. He found that one.
Yeah. smoke was genius.
Look at this. Wow,
he was not expecting one that far out, was he? That was
very good.
That was sneaky.
Yeah.
He's turned to face it, and I think they're much safer once they've done that.
He's got away with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's actually going.
look at
he
that.
lost.
It's a hit of 5.
Shouldn't have lost.
A kill of
shouldn't have lost. The odds are in favour of the Americans in that situation, I think.
So these tanks have got is it 47L, and the armour here is 8. Is it 8? Yeah.
8 in the front, yeah.
Yeah. So and 47L is what's that? Is that 13?
Yeah, I've got the chart. Give me a minute. 47L is 11.
11. Oh wow! So right, so that double one was really.
Yeah. Well, that's helped the Japanese out actually a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, and the Americans now spread out a little bit, and now the Japanese actually looking like they're in quite good positions to stop this advance.
That medium machine gun's in a building.
Close
the Panji's starting to play havoc.
Yeah, Americans have beaten them in close combat down the.
They've got a lot of guys a long way away from the goal line.
Another tank gets knocked out there.
Yeah. Wow. These Americans should not be losing so easily to these tanks.
Yeah, right.
It's
at this point it looks close, doesn't it? So turn 3 for the Japanese.
Yeah. I suspect
some Panjis there.
I suspect Morris has lost a bit of that confidence.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let me just load the next one.
So what gun has the Americans got? Okay. How are we doing?
Yep. Okay. So, all right, we're off again.
Okay.
So,
right. So
turn 4.
Yeah.
What's got a lot of?
Yeah. We got the hero. Is it enough? So the tank's going to take out that tank.
Is this going to be the first tank? Oh, no, there's the first points off for the Americans now in 3 games.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Now, is that the right thing? Should he have used the tank to try and make it easier for the infantry?
I would have thought taking if you can face that tank,
and
you've got a rear shot there as well. I would have thought taking the shot with the
I mean, I suspect Morris has tried to face off against Japanese tanks already twice.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure quite convinced the odds are in his favour. But actually, infantry's doing all right in beginning to sort of bring itself back together again, grouping back up.
If you think, for example, if the American tank was sitting up here in FF1 or EE1, and just gets ready to reverse off when it needs to,
when it needs to, But they got some nice big fire groups, and their hero's going to give them, allow them to have the -1 for some big shots. There you go, big advancing fire shot. All it does is pin the Japanese. That's so typical. Oh, mind you, they're going for the close combat.
So what we got here? We've got in the close combat 6. I mean, 10 against 4.
Should win this, surely.
Yeah, pin with a hero and looks good. It looks good, I think.
Yeah.
Now this is a graveyard. That's not ambush terrain.
Do you know? I can't remember that.
So it looks like.
It doesn't look like anything happened. They're in melee.
Yeah, it's big rolls, 11s and 8s.
The other melee's wiped out, and the rest are trapped in. And we've got one leader in the melee in DD4, the Japanese.
And now you think really the tanks effectively would just want to be firing into this melee, wouldn't they? I mean, you would have thought.
I would have thought, yeah.
Just fire in.
Yeah.
I mean,
just overrun it.
Overrun, yeah, that would be a.
Yeah.
So tanks coming round.
Yeah. Most of the Americans are in those melees, aren't they?
Yeah. So okay, I would say
he's got a prisoner.
Yeah, he's captured him.
Captured the leader. That's very good play, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Because worth a lot of points, isn't it?
Yeah. Capture attempt, presumably.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. Yeah.
It's about the only way of getting Japanese, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Because those points. I mean, this one stack here 80667 and the
7 points.
Yeah. So that's
7 points there. Yeah. Do you know? I'm not even sure I would have thought of doing that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have done against another nationality, but I'm not sure if it occurred to me against the Japanese.
These guys here, I don't know if you saw that, the 667 and the 70 ran in front of that tank and got away with it.
You've got to, haven't you? There's no other way of winning now, is there, except to take those sorts of chances.
That's right, yeah. Fire lane comes through. Oh,
he could win this.
Those guys are getting
They can advance off, can't they? They go for it. Okay.
So off they go. So this tank is worth, is it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points? And you're saying this is 7 points worth here. So this is, I think, something like 13 points already.
Yeah. Yeah. So they very much could win this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you obviously just got the 7-0 leader.
Yeah. It won the melee.
Yeah.
It's got to be significant. But it's a Japanese turn now. They're going for these.
Now that's an interesting choice there, bringing this tank this way around. I would have thought the tank there needed to get back to try and stop this 7-0 getting off. I would have thought. But he's gone to DM that guy. He's done a good job. He's But whether or not he gets back as well. Okay, that's pretty good.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And this guy as well can get back. Very nice.
Oh, is that an overrun?
It's an overrun. He's got a random selection. Wounds the leader. Oh, and then he close combat, double one.
Excellent.
Wow. Let's look at that.
Looks like an American win.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're off. And I think that's the game. I think that's the game.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Very. I think they're.
And there's the bandages.
Yeah, then they finishes there. So American win. Very good. Good game. Looking at the average dice rolls there, Richard 7.41 and Morris 705. So not terrible. It's pretty good. There was that was a good game. That's close.
Yeah.
Bit of a crazy one. Okay, so the last one is going to be Jason Nichols against David Garvin. So 2 seconds.
All right.
Okay, so Jason is the Americans. Japanese David Garvin. Again, nice. They've used a nice.
Same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
It's good. Very good.
All right, so a little bit more of a, I guess, more standard, a little bit of a mix, really. I guess quite far back for the Japanese, but covering this path a little bit more than we saw in the last game.
Much more like perhaps the first two games that we saw in a way, in terms of setup for both sides.
That's right.
But you're right; they're a bit further. They're set back a little bit further. There goes the infantry scouts.
Yeah, Jason opting for the concealed counters. Didn't work out for everybody else. That's what I'm going to say. So we've got a review.
No, we actually got their comments as well, because they were obviously not.
All right. So if you see something useful,
direct comms,
if you see them swearing at each other,
yeah,
it's worth noting that some of these games have been played by Vassal and some have been played live. PBM, and some have been played live, which is good. So those that have stitched log files together, thank you. It's appreciated. So we've got the Japanese. Just kind of sitting back and watching.
Fairly relatively unmolested, I suppose, in that first turn, as you perhaps would expect with a slightly backward Japanese defence.
And I think the Japanese did nothing for the entire turn. Exactly.
Well, the Americans are off again.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, that's an early tank, isn't it?
We've got a shock. I'm assuming that's the shock against the American tank there.
Yeah, I think so.
Another one.
He's managed to keep concealment as well, which is always frustrating. Now,
How does it?
it,
Is that because of they act like guns? Is that
I
right?
think so. Yeah, yeah. That must be an SSR.
Right, right.
But now you see, what all the all the American tanks together,
Yep,
they can deal with that, can't
yep,
they?
yep,
Should
yep,
be able to win.
yep. And the infantry are still quite coordinated here.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing here
That's
is
right.
with the Panjis so far forward, without the support of the
Mm,
infantry, you can't take advantage of any breaks
that's
that
right. Yeah,
the American
yeah.
blazing tank
Oh,
had.
there's a blazing tank there. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's another tank to the left-hand side. The Japanese have got tanks both sides.
yep,
Makes this all look much more difficult.
yep. Oh, another one goes.
Oh yeah, that's close combat.
Yeah, turn
Mm,
3. Must be quite depressing for the Americans not to be able to get off the
mm.
first board
Yeah, yeah,
and getting really. I mean, that's a really concentrated defense on that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if, in this instance, going up along the right hand side here would have been. I mean, I assume there's another tank there guarding that
Yeah,
right
I
hand
don't
side.
think that the American vehicles can do that
Oh, right, they've got to go down the road, have they?
until they unhip one of the Japanese
Right.
tanks, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
And now they're free to move where they want now.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, do those Panjis are isolating the tanks though.
Yes, that's true. That's
Do
true.
you know? And I think that's actually working quite effectively.
Right.
It's actually something sinister and devious in there, isn't there? I mean, I've never met
Yeah.
David. There's
No.
something evil, isn't there? There's an evil genius in the way he's let the tanks through,
Right.
isolates them, and destroys them one by one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Lets them
yeah,
through it as.
they are people. You know, these guys have got mothers. You know,
um,
oh, this is amazing to
yeah,
watch.
they're so contained,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
There's a,
And he's got this little break out here, hasn't
yeah.
he, with the squad in W10, or not anymore.
Yeah, they've been pulled
No, he's
back.
going for close combats and things, I think.
Right. Right.
Trying to reveal these tanks. Oh,
Oh, it's a bit of a sniper duel.
yeah,
I think he's just killed the sniper.
yeah. Mm.
But he's four Americans still aren't on the second board.
Yeah.
It's turn 4. He might be able to route onto the second board somehow.
The thing is, I suppose there's an element of risk, isn't there, if the Japanese set foot up forward?
Yep, yep.
That, you know, the Americans are able to be reasonably coordinated and but I mean, to be fair, Dave's done everything to make that difficult.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, you get lucky with the rolls, and you know, you start destroying things halfway across the board, and then and you know that there's nothing else in front of you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But at the moment, it seems to be going very well for the Japanese.
That's
But
right.
the Americans are making progress. Actually, they fought their way out on the left hand side.
Yeah. And the right hand side, they've broken the Japanese on the right.
Yeah, yeah. There's
And they're past the
Japanese
Panjis.
tanks burning all over the place. They're past the Panjis.
Yeah. I mean, these are small nuggets to hold on to for the Americans. Right.
And he's still got a tank.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Although it does seem to be hiding.
Here he goes.
He's got two tanks, yeah.
Okay.
I'd say it seems to be swinging back to the Americans.
Yeah. The Americans are doing, but they've only got one turn left to go after this.
Right, and they probably can't get the infantry off. And the
So
tanks.
after this, they've got this turn here. So yeah, it looks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The tanks were 6 each.
Right.
So that's 12 points, but that isn't enough. So they need infantry.
So you're onto the tanks to try and load up.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay. So there's been a close combat that they got rid of the Japanese guys. So here, in theory, a load up of the infantry.
Yeah. But you can't have 2 squads on a tank, can you?
No, but does he need? So he'd get 6 and 6, 12, 13, 14, and the leader 15. And what does he need? 16 points, was it?
Yeah, I think so. But he's also got the guys on the left, hasn't he? So they could get off, I think. Because I don't think it's bamboo. I can't remember that now. I'm not sure about that.
So it's
Okay.
it's the old move the guys at the back. Move the guys at the back that have no chance of getting off first.
Yeah. He's gone for the.
Oh, what's happened here? It's gone into them.
I'm not sure. Right, so because this is being played by email, I guess he doesn't know what happens in that hex.
Right. Okay, I see. So he's been pulled back.
Yeah.
He's been pulled back in the first fight here and broken them. Right.
Yeah, he first fired it before they got anywhere near that. Yeah.
Right, with you. Oh, another tank.
And the other tank, the last Japanese tank's arrived. It's perfectly placed, isn't it? Look at that.
It's the 8-1 leader. Yeah, and the game's over. And poor Americans. So
actually, I think the Americans still had 3 tanks actually when we were thinking it was 2.
Right. Okay.
One's just been turned into a blaze, and he's still got 2 left. Right, so he did have enough points. Yeah.
Okay. But wow. Okay. So that does look tough, doesn't it? In terms of like the getting the guys off there. But they were very good.
Got to hand it to him. Jason, fought through that and did break out completely.
Yeah,
and was we miscalculated because there were 3 tanks. He definitely had enough. He could easily have won on that last turn.
Yeah, exactly. That was very good, very good. So good to see, guys. Thanks very much for all of those logs. Absolutely. And well played, everybody that got to the quarterfinals. So as I say, we've got the semi-finals going on right now. We've got Morris, Tom, Tuomo, and David Garvin. I think are in the semi-finals. They're playing the closer at the moment. So we're hoping to get those log files fairly soon. I mean, we've got to think about a final. We've got to think about the scenario. I think we've got an idea for a final. I tried to get the guys to play a scenario from Forgotten War, but there was one veto. I felt like it was only fair to make sure that everybody had a copy of it and that they were okay with the rules, and one wasn't. But if that one person is knocked out, then we will have a Forgotten War scenario for the final.
Not that we're hoping that they're knocked out, of course.
No. But otherwise, it'll be your choice, Martin, at the final.
I'll have a look through. When we know who's won, I'll have a look through and watch something.
We should say, as well as the board that's up for grabs as part of the prizes. The Kansas City guys are also sponsoring the tournament, so thank you. They're providing a pack for second place. So we should say thank you to them. I have put on the Scenario Archive two updates actually for the Scenario Archive. The first one is the performance upgrade. So for those that have used the archive over the last year, I've noticed it's been a little bit sluggish. I am well aware of the sluggishness. I have been trying to fix that. To give you an idea, I upped the server power by 4 times. So I put 4 CPUs in rather than 1 CPU. I put 8 gig in instead of 2 gig memory for it. And instead of the utilization being 100%, which is what it was going up to 400% because it was four lots of 100% for the CPU usage. So I had to do a lot of work on trying to figure out what was causing that. It turned out to be there's a little button on the Scenario Archive right at the top that shows you your last 5 scenario pages that you've looked at. And how I was doing that was writing to a table every scenario view that you had, and then keeping this massive long table so that I could just sort for the last 5 that people were looking at. Of course, that had grown to like 1.9 million views and was causing a bit of a problem because every page was reading the table and most pages were writing to the table, so it was causing a bit of a problem. So I cleared out most of that table. We've got a much better performance. We've got a faster server. So again, that's thanks to the Patreons that I'm able to do that. So
I'm playing around with it now. I'm just following random links, and it is just lightning.
It's like a Bugatti, isn't it?
Lightning. It's amazing.
It's beautiful. But again, thanks to the Patrons for enabling to do that. So
absolutely,
guys, you are funding the archive hosting. Yeah. You're helping us do this kind of stuff as well, getting tournament prizes and bits and pieces. So a big thank you. We mentioned last week there was a couple of new patrons: David Myers, Martin O'Neill, Michael O'Neill. Apologies. So we are going to do our draw this time. So this is 4. I have them here all ready to reveal. So we have a copy of Rally Point 5 and Schwerpunk 16. So this is going to 1 lucky Patreon. Martin, I need a number from 1 to 59, please.
Okie dokie. And the number is
Everybody is
57.
57, right towards the end. Tuomo Lukari again
Excellent.
has won again. Well done.
Again.
Yeah, he won some minstrels last time. So
Excellent. Right. So this is a bigger prize.
it is a better prize. So these are going off to Finland.
Yes.
So congratulations, Tuomo. Thank you for your patronage. We will send these
and for the good game a few weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's obviously still in the final, or he's in the semi-final. So
yeah.
Good luck with him. All right, Martin. So other than the last bit I want to talk about is the March Madness pack. The 3-player pack is now up and available on the Scenario Archive as well. So I thought maybe we would be able to play perhaps that with Toby or someone we can find someone else perhaps to play with, maybe even Indy. Yeah. We can see if someone
That'd
who
be great.
has played. We'll do some phoning up, and we'll see if we can find someone to play a 3-player scenario. So we can highlight the 3-player pack that is available right now on the archive, $15.
Yeah. And the way that plays out, because a lot of people want to play 3-player scenarios. It's a little bit different the way the rules work, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we will try and sort one of those out very soon. England, Germany tonight, so we're all very excited about that. By the time we've put this up, you're not excited?
Do you know, England won the World Cup the year before I was born, and every sort of 2 years after that, there's a major tournament, and everyone gets me excited about it. And this is the first time I've gone, do you know what? I'm not excited about it. They're going to lose like they always do. So there was a great joke Martin May has put on. Apparently, this is a German comedian. I can never remember his name. Do you know what I mean? That's Wen. This guy Wen. Anyway,
that's already an oxymoron.
German comedian that does his jokes in Britain, usually at our expense, says in the World Cup, in the European Cup, Championships, whatever, the England-Germany match is always a big game.
Right.
For England. For Germany, the big matches come further on in the tournament. And I thought that's been the experience of my life, you know?
Yeah. You are the jinx. If you weren't around.
When I die, we'll get the World Cup straight away, or whatever it is. I know this isn't the World Cup, but you know what I mean.
European Cup, we'll take either.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patronage. Thanks for your comments. We do appreciate it. We read all the comments. We read all the suggestions. Keep it coming. Martin will figure out something to play next. Won't be long, I'm sure. So until then, thanks everyone. Congratulations on the winners. All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.